Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Encourage business practices with your children. I'm going to tell you what, one of the biggest things that we need, and even though I know I have supporters outside of the Black community or, African American community, this is more specific to the African American community. And that's business practices. One of the things, let me just make an editorial comment real quick. With all the stuff happening, a lot of it is economic based. We need to be building businesses. But see, one of the issues that happens is that young children, they have to learn business practices on their own. In most cases, not all cases, of course, there's some heroic parents that make sure their kids are brought up in the business. They understand what's going on and everything. And indeed, when I was young, my grandmother, they weren't formally in business, but, I had an idea of how she was running her rental properties. And then my uncle and aunt at one time had they had a takeout, even though I didn't think it was a good idea where they had it. Even then, even as a 10-year-old, I had an idea about, location. I was like, this location is bad. But it turned out the previous owners, they had some extracurricular activity going on there. But we won't say too much. I don't know what the statute of limitations is. But anyway, what you want to do, especially for my entrepreneurs, and even though I say it specifically for the Black community, this is for anyone, but especially anyone in the Black community needs to listen to this. If you're in business, especially, or even if you're not, you need to try to encourage business practices with your children. If they do A, B, and C, that's their little business. Like, and like I said, you have some people doing, like where I live, I can pass by, on any day I can pass by 2 or 3 lemonade stands. I can pass by some lemonade stands. And, but their mothers will be right behind them. Indeed, speaking of the Black community, I remember it was a couple years ago. Couldn't do much with the COVID, but there was a young child, and she would have her lemonade stand like in a parking lot of a shopping center near us, and her mother be right there. They probably got permission. It was a good thing. They got a spot nobody went to, parked at a lot. And they were just selling their lemonade, and people were just lined up. I was like, that's a good business practice. You want to encourage that with your children to think in terms of not just getting money for free. Because even now, my sons, they will do little things for me for business reasons. When they need to make money, especially my youngest son, he'll hit me up. He'll say, hey, you need this done? You want me to wash the car? Something. And I was like, yeah, okay. Whenever you need money, see, he gets a plan. I say, okay, I ain't going to give it to you. You got to earn the money. So they like, okay. So they already have an idea. Okay, you got to earn the money. You at least got to work for the money. And now they always, and they're always thinking about some type of business they could do to make some money. And I'm encouraging them. I ain't going to get into what my youngest son does, which at the pace he's going, he might make a little bit of money. I got to check out some things. I ain't going to say because I don't want y'all into it, but he got his little thing he building. But I encourage it. I encourage it all the time. And you want to do that, like counting money. And indeed, even beyond business practices, you want to encourage money management. I'll use my son again. There's some type of video game coming out in September. I don't pay attention to it. And he got the date and everything. I say, okay, fine. Go ahead and pay for it. I ain't buying it. And I look at him like that. Only time I get my sons like direct gifts is on their birthdays and Christmas. That's the only time. And, I will get them clothes because, I got to make sure they look fly. But anything extra they have, I say, hey, you got to work for it. You got to work for it. And indeed, my sons, they will work for it, especially my youngest. But he's already have an idea. And subconsciously, he knows he wants something. He got to work for. He got to provide a service or a product for someone. You know, he already knows that. See, when we talk about business, and that's one of the main things with this channel, is not so much the technicalities of business. Y'all can find that anywhere. Y'all can find anywhere how to, apply for, set up your LLC or whatever you want to set up in your particular jurisdiction. Indeed, the way things are now, you can go to a website, government-sponsored website that walk you right through the process. You just have to put in some information and then pay. But the mindset, because this is the main thing, because when you encourage business practices and not just spending the money, but managing, like writing down, okay, how much money do you have? Okay, I have this much money. All right, count it. All right, putting away this much for what you want to buy in the future. You encourage that. Okay, you doing something, maybe a product. Okay, you got to go buy the products. You got to find them at a good price. Every little thing, because it's all about the mindset. You want to encourage it. And here's the beauty of it, especially if you start them off when they're young. You don't have to have a formal course. Like I remember when I was young, grandma used to she used to send me out to people to clean their places. She said, oh yeah, they'll pay you. I was like, man. But then, boom, I say, oh, wait a minute. All of a sudden hit up grandma and be like, hey, anybody need something clean? But, you figure out it snows outside. Ooh, business, money, 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 money. You start hitting up everybody, get that broom and that shovel, and you start hitting up everybody's house. Shoot, you might even get slick, put everybody on lockdown in the neighborhood. But it was encouraged. See, just encourage it. See, here's the thing. You don't have to go tell them anything because, let's just be real. And any parent know it. You tell a child to do something. One, they fight it. Two, they'll do it, but they'll have a little rebellion. So it's best to just encourage it. You don't have to tell them, but when you see some little stuff, say, oh, yeah, you could probably make money that way. And, they thinking about the latest computer game or, fly shoes or something if they buy their own clothes. And it's like, okay, boom. But you always want to encourage it, and then, gradually talk with them, especially in business. Say, hey, you know what? You don't have to ask somebody else for a job. And I've actually known some parents, in my neighborhood coming up, there was a family, it was a gentleman, and I think he had 6 kids. He had so many kids. I didn't even know them all well. He had so many kids. But they had the paper routes when they still had, they still have paper routes. They had all the paper routes in the neighborhood on lock. They had them on lock. I was like, as far as I know, the 2 oldest ones never worked for anybody. Never. But they already had that mentality. So you want to encourage it in your children. All right? So anyway, something for y'all to think about for y'all with kids. So anyway, let's go make that money.